The fourth generation Nissan Maxima made its debut for the 1995 model year, sporting an all-new, sleek design and serving as a replacement for the outgoing model, which had been on sale since 1988. Continuing the use of V6 power, the new for 1995 Maxima implemented a new aluminum dual overhead cam 3-liter V6. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the fourth generation Nissan Maxima, a sporty sedan that targeted buyers looking for not only practicality, but also a bit of driver appeal. So grab a bottle of Nesquik, kick back, and let's get down to the nitty-gritty. The third generation Nissan Maxima made its debut in the fall of 1988 for the 1989 model year. This Maxima sported larger dimensions, making it the second largest Japanese sedan sold in North America to qualify as midsize. The Mazda 929 was the first to sport the larger dimensions. This third generation Maxima was equipped with an independent rear suspension and offered the road scanning electronic supersonic suspension. This generation was sold in Japan, but the Maxima nameplate will soon be retired there. The Maxima offered front-wheel drive, V6 power, and contemporary sedan styling. For North America, Nissan marketed the sedan as a four-door sports car. It was also around this time, at the turn of the decade, when the developmental process for a future successor was in the initial stages. 1990, the design process of the fourth generation Maxima had gotten underway. Fast forward to spring 1991. During this time, the design for the new sedan was frozen. The independent rear suspension of the third generation sedan would be exchanged for a lighter and cheaper torsion bar solid axle system. This was a tactic implemented by Japanese auto manufacturers as a means of cost cutting in the wake of the bursting of Japan's economic bubble of the late 1980s. Developers wanted to keep costs low, so some of the standard features from the third generation model would be offered as optional equipment rather than being standard equipment. 1994. As a way to guarantee quality control and yield exceptional build quality, the new Maxima was assembled in Nissan's modernized Opama plant. This is the same manufacturing plant that will also produce the Infiniti i30, which itself was based on the Maxima platform. Although the 95 was longer and wider than the 94, the new car was lighter by 138 pounds. It retained its midsize classification via the EPA. However, the 95 Maxima's interior boasted more useful space in both front and rear seating areas. This was due to the longer wheelbase and wider track. The fourth generation Nissan Maxima appeared during the early summer of this year, 1994, going on sale as a 1995 model year car. Front-wheel drive, V6 power, and contemporary sedan styling carried over to this new iteration. Overall, the new design was evolutionary, with softer contours replacing the hard edges of its predecessor. Nissan expanded the Maxima model range for 1995. This was done as a means of ensuring the redesigned sedan would appeal to the broadest possible buyer group. That said, the new for 1995 Maxima came in 3 trim levels: the base GXE, the sporty SE, and the top trim GLE. The value leader of the group, the GXE, was carried over from the 1994 model, as was the SE model. The luxury-oriented GLE was a new trim level for 1995.
The new Maxima, starting under $20,000, demonstrated that it not only competes with the more expensive Mercedes C280, the BMW 540i, the Lexus ES300, and the Acura Legend LS, it can outperform them as well.
The GXE and SE came with a 5-speed manual transmission. An electronically controlled 4-speed automatic was optional on those models and standard on the GLE. The new for 1995 Maxima SE came equipped with a rear spoiler, firmer suspension, and wider tires. On the inside, the SE Maxima's got the white face gauges that reverse the color at night. Equipped with a stick shift, the SE was the sporty option for those that wanted a bit more pizzazz added to their sedan. The new 190 horsepower 3-liter V6 was the only engine option for the North American market. The engine got positive attention from the press and even earned a first spot on the Ward's 10 Best Engines list. The new VQ engine was similar in configuration to the outgoing VG series it replaced. Both were 3-liter, 24-valve, dual overhead cam, 60-degree 6-cylinders. There were no direct similarities beyond that. The VQ was more compact, weighed less, cleaner, cheaper to build, and easier to maintain. It even generated more power and torque while being more fuel efficient.
In our first test, the cars accelerated from 0 to 60. The Maxima GLE with its completely new V6 engine powered ahead of the Mercedes, the Lexus, and the Legend. Only the BMW 540i with its V8 engine edged the new Maxima.
Toyota itself had recently introduced the V6-powered front-wheel drive Toyota Avalon, a stretched version of the Toyota Camry. Even though the new Avalon was intended to compete with domestic full-size offerings, this was one of the sedans the new Maxima would end up going toe-to-toe against. Check out our Toyota Avalon episode for all of the details. The newly redesigned Maxima was well received, and many prospective car buyers liked its quiet and spacious interior. The 1995 Nissan Maxima was Motor Trend's Import Car of the Year. Once again, the Maxima SE found itself on Car and Driver magazine's 10 Best lists for 1995 and 1996. For the 1997 model year, the Maxima's exterior was refreshed, sporting new 5-spoke alloy wheels. The headlamps were different, not in terms of design, but the materials they were fabricated from. There was also a slightly different front and rear fascia with new updated tail lamps. The 1999 Maxima SE was also available with a limited package, which was more of an appearance package and consisted of titanium tinted emblems and 16-inch wheels. The redesigned 5th generation Maxima entered production in spring 1999 and made its official public debut shortly thereafter. A more powerful V6 was on hand, and its overall design was more assertive than other cars in its class. Longer and wider than before, the new Maxima rode on a longer wheelbase, and while it offered roomy, comfortable accommodations, the typical traits of a proper midsize sedan, it was created for those who not only wanted functionality, but also brisk performance. Although the Maxima nameplate was retired in Japan, this particular generation was sold there under a different name, the Nissan Zafiro A32. Nissan rolled out the A32 series Zafiro to the Japanese domestic market in 1994, replacing the rear-drive A31 series. The A32 transitioned to front-wheel drive and adopted Nissan's VQ 6-cylinder engines. The A32 was badged as the Zafiro for the Japanese domestic market. However, exported A32s were typically badged as Maximas. For example, the European spec A32 was marketed as the Nissan Maxima QX. As far as engine choices, the 2 and 3-liter engines were offered in export markets, while the mid-level 2.5-liter engine was exclusively for Japanese customers. Nissan's luxury division, Infiniti, rolled out the Zafiro for the North American market. This version of the Zafiro would be otherwise known as the Infiniti i30. Although the two cars were 99% identical, the Zafiro had identifying features on the front end, not to mention several engine options. And of course, one was left-hand drive, while the other was right-hand drive. The i30 would be assembled in Opama, Japan, the same location where the Maxima itself was assembled, with production beginning in summer 1995 and the car going on sale for the 1996 model year. The outgoing Infiniti J30 will be replaced by the new i30. The i30 shared the 3-liter V6 with the North American Maxima. During the time, the i30 was Infiniti's top-selling model. As the brand's midsize car, it slotted in between the brand's entry-level Primera-based Infiniti G20 and the full-size Q45. We mentioned in the first part of this video that the 5th generation Maxima made its debut in 1999 for the 2000 model year. That 5th generation Maxima was a badge engineered variant of the JDM A33 Nissan Safiro. Just like its predecessor, the A32, this new A33 Nissan Safiro was also marketed globally, or in other words, sold in various markets. This included Nissan North America's luxury division, Infiniti, where the A33 Safiro became the i30 and subsequently the i35. The A33 Safiro, like its predecessor, was again marketed in Europe as the Maxima QX. The execs at Nissan mentioned that this car was built with the driver in mind, someone that desired the plushness and practicality of a Camry, the reliability of an Accord, with a dash of sportiness. I currently own a 2019 Maxima and am currently looking to replace that one with another Maxima. I would love to own a 4th generation, preferably in SE trim with the 5-speed manual. While I see plenty of Avalons of this era, I very seldom see any 4th generation Maximas on the road. From a design standpoint, I think these 4th generation cars still look great, even by today's standards, inside and out, especially for a design that dates back to the year 1990. Maximas from the 90s have a reputation of being reliable, well crafted, and solidly built. This was, and still is, one of my favorite sedans from the 90s. Leave a comment and let us know if you've owned or otherwise driven a 1995 to 1999 Nissan Maxima. Also, let us know if you would be interested in purchasing one. As always, thanks for coming out to the show, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until next time, this is your host Rob, and thanks for tuning in to Antique Tags.